There are moments in life that feel strangely heavy, even when nothing dramatic is happening. You might walk into a busy mall, a packed station, or a loud marketplace, and suddenly something inside you tightens. It isn't fear in the dramatic sense. It isn't danger. It's more like a quiet pressure rising inside you, subtle, invisible, yet unmistakable. A feeling that whispers, I need space. I need air. I need a moment. People around you seem perfectly fine. They laugh, talk, and move through the noise as if it's background music. But for you, something feels off. The air feels thicker. The sounds feel sharper. The movement feels like too much. Happening at once, you become aware of every step, every sound, every face that passes too close. And you wonder, why does this happen to me? Why do crowded places feel so overwhelming? Why do I feel drained before anything even happens? If you embarrassed yourself this, you're not strange, you're not broken, you're not antisocial. What you're experiencing is profoundly human. Because the psychology behind people who dislike crowded places is deeper, richer, and more meaningful than most people ever realize. It's not about shyness. It's not simply introversion. It's not a lack of confidence. Many confident, expressive, charismatic people still feel overwhelmed in crowded places. And when you look closely, stuff don't the importance. Crowded places don't just overwhelm your senses. They overwhelm your sense of self. Let's go deeper. Our nervous system built for survival long before modern life existed. A crowded, unpredictable environment meant danger. Our ancestors needed awareness to survive, and tuning to movement, sound, and petitions are technically safe. But your nervous system still reacts not with panic, not with fear, but with vigilance. That quiet internal alert that says, there's too much happening, pay attention. It's ancient biology, not weakness. Your nervous system is simply more sensitive, more perceptive, more attuned than most people recognize. This alone explains why crowds feel overwhelming, but in reality, emotionally and philosophically. The deep thinkers, mind people who dislike crowds are often reflective, observant, emotionally aware, introspective, sensitive to energy, perceptive of subtle details. Your mind doesn't skim the surface of the world, it absorbs it. And when you're placed in a space filled with constant motion, unpredictable noise, overlapping conversations, just shifting faces, unfamiliar energy, your brain doesn't quiet down like other people's. It becomes louder, sharper, boozier. Every passing face feels like a signal. Every sound feels like another thought to process. It's not the people that overwhelm you, it's the constant inputs. Your mind isn't designed to filter that many signals at once, and that's okay. Personal space, the psychology of safety. Some people need more physical space, others need emotional space. But people who struggle in crowds need both. Proxemics. Space, it's mental breathing room. Crowded places compress that space. They push against your emotional boundaries. They shrink the internal world that helps you stay grounded. And when that boundary collapses, seeves slightly, your mind feels cornered, not frightened, just drained. Not unsafe. Just overfilled, non-panic, just overwhelmed by too much energy that isn't your own. The habit of hyper-awareness, there's another layer. Many people who struggle in crowded spaces grew up learning to read the room. Early on, they developed the ability to sense tension, tone, emotional shifts, subtle behaviors, unspoken moods. It may have been necessary for survival. To stay safe, you had to stay aware. And awareness, once learned, never turns off. So in a double-edged sword, in a crowd, you aren't just walking through people, you're decoding them, their energy, their mood, their tone, their movement. You're processing far more information than most minds ever attempt, and that is exhausting. It's like walking around with too many tabs open in your brain. No one sees it, but you feel it. Existential overwhelm. The philosophical layer. Something else happens in crowds, something deeper. You become aware of the speed of life, the busyness of people, the chaos of the world, the smallness of your own presence. This doesn't scare you. It creates a quiet sense of disconnection, not because you are alone, but because you are surrounded by people you aren't connected to. Crowds can make you feel invisible, not because no one sees you, but because nothing around you feels meaningful. You crave. Real conversations come professions to slow moments, genuine presence. Emotional depth. Human warmth in crowded places often offer the opposite. Rushed movement, shallow interactions, fragmented attention, surface-level energy that mismatch drains the spirit long before it drains the senses. The emotional censor, invisible work of the mind. People who dislike crowds often have extraordinary emotional intelligence. You can stress, frustration, excitement, impatience, fear, irritation, without anyone saying a word. But in a crowded environment, all those signals blend together. Like emotional noise, you walk through a storm of unspoken energy. None of it is directed at you, but you feel it anyway. It's like having a microphone that picks up every sound in a stadium. Useful in quiet rooms. Overwhelming in chaos, the high-resolution mind. Some people process the world in low resolution. They see the general picture. But you process the world in high resolution. You notice everything. The pitch of voices, the tone of footsteps, but the buzzing lights, the emotional weight in the air, the micro-expressions on faces. The resolution processing is powerful, creative, insightful, emotionally intelligent. But in crowds, it becomes too much because your brain isn't filtering, is absorbing, and absorbing takes energy. The halax of internal bounders people who dislike crowds often operate from their internal world, the false awareness. But in a crowded space, the external world drowns out the internal. Your thoughts feel harder to reach. Your intuition goes quiet. Your inner voice becomes difficult to hear. It's like losing your internal compass. Everything inside you says, I need space to return to myself. That's why stepping outside a crowd feels like taking a deep breath, not physically, but mentally. Your emotional boundaries return. Your inner world becomes accessible. You feel like yourself again. Selective attention, quality over quantity. People who struggle in crowds don't dislike people. They dislike too many people at once. Why? Because your attention is meaningful. You don't give it casually. You give it deeply. And crowded environments scatter your attention in 100 directions. More than you want, more than you need, more than you have energy for. You're not avoiding life. You're protecting your inner clarity. You connect best where presence is real, not forced. Loneliness versus alignment. One of the deepest truths is this. You can feel completely alone in a crowded room, yet feel completely at peace when you're by yourself. Because loneliness comes from lack of alignment, not lack of people. In crowds, everyone feels distant from themselves. You feel that distance too, but when the world around you slows down, your mind realigns with your identity. Again, that feeling, that return to self, your natural state. The mind built for depth, not noise. The world rewards loudness, big personalities, busy environments, fast energy. But not all brilliance is loud. Some brilliance is quiet, calm, observant, thoughtful, introspective, deep. Your mind wasn't built for chaos. It was built for depth, and depth doesn't thrive in overstimulation. It thrives in calm environments, meaningful conversations, the emotional authenticity, cannot avoiding the world. You're approaching it differently. We're approaching it differently. We're intentionally, most thoughtfully, immerse often. The final truth. If crowded places drain you, overwhelm you, or unsettle you, it's not because you are weak. It's not because you're strange. It's not because you're socially anxious. And it's definitely not because something is wrong with you. It's because your mind processes more. Your inner world needs more space. Some people thrive in noise. Some thrive in quiet. Both are human. Both are valid. Both are necessary. But you're someone who carries depth. Your mind is alive in stillness. Your heart opens in calm. Your thoughts grow in quiet. Your spirit settles in peace. And that is not a flaw, it's a gift.